We have breaking news as the Boston Bruins have signed Mark Kastelic to a 3-year extension, and this has major implications for the Boston Bruins' future. We're going to be talking about this signing and what other signings are going to be coming soon after this one. But before we get into all of this news, we're on the road to 6K, and if we could hit that, that would be absolutely incredible. Your guys' support is absolutely insane, and the Bruins are starting to look good, so you're not going to want to miss what the Bruins have in store for the next coming weeks and months as we head closer to the trade deadline. But more importantly, right now, the Boston Bruins have signed Mark Kastelic to a pretty important extension. As you see, it's a massive extension, not by term or price, but by importance and what it's going to hold for the Boston Bruins' future here. And we're going to be talking about it. We're going to get the first screenshot here, of course, as you see from the Boston Bruins. Mark Kastelic signed a 3-year deal at a cap hit of annually $1,567,000. A very interesting number when you're looking at it this way, but Mark Kastelic has been a very big and integral piece to the Boston Bruins this season, especially after being thrown in almost to the Linus Ullmark deal, really just being kind of an extra addition. He has had a much bigger importance to the Boston Bruins than initially thought of from, I would say, just about everybody. And Mark Kastelic has been a fan favorite so far this season. Don't mind dropping the gloves. Don't mind getting in front of the net. He goes in the dirties areas. He is the cut of a Boston Bruin, and that's why he's such a big fan favorite. And of course, he's going to be a very good addition over these next 3 years after this season. Mark Kastelic has been someone that we've all expected to sign, especially the way he's played his recent games, the way he's been filling in really anywhere he's played. And I want to pull up the lines here. As you see in the fourth line center, has really found a home right there, but I can really see him playing in just about any other position on this team, playing on the wings, playing down the middle, either on the first, well, I wouldn't say the first, but the second, third, or fourth line, really wherever you want to slot him, he can certainly fit into where he goes. But right now, the fourth line has found his home, and he certainly likes the sides with Johnny Beecher and Cole Koepke here. And as you see, don't mind Elias Lindholm. Daily Faceoff was having a few issues today, but going back to Mark Kastelic as well. You know, the way he's been structured in this team, the way the team is kind of built the bottom six around that fourth line, having, John Beecher, Mark Kastelic, and Cole Koepke being the best line in hockey to start off the season, even with the Boston Bruins really having a terrible start to the season. That was really our initial thought and our really first point of impact that we saw that this line, including Mark Kastelic, centering around Mark Kastelic, how important it was to the team and how this line really lifted up the team to where they want to be and where they are now. And under Joe Sacco, you really see the impression that he has left with this team and how the team thinks about Mark Kastelic. And this season, even on the fourth line, 39 games, 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points, only averaging just over 10 minutes time on ice. He has been a very important piece, more than what it seems like, as I mentioned, with his time on ice, how long he's been playing with this team, being only 39 games after the trade, and already being a fan favorite, already being more important to this team than what everybody thinks, and compared to where he is on the ice, in the locker room, on the bench, you see this team cares about him. And at 25 years old, going on 26 here, not too long, he is going to be a very important piece of the Boston Bruins' future, and there's no trouble to tell by this 3-year extension from the Boston Bruins. Now, whether or not they will play him on, any other line in the near future is uncertain, but the Bruins definitely have big plans for him, as we're going to see here in a few moments. Now, going into these lines right here, I wanted to pull these up, and as you see, a few UFAs on the wings and a few RFAs as well on the wing, with Mark Kastelic being locked up, finally finishes down the middle for the Boston Bruins on the contract. And as you see, Mark Kastelic there, Trent Frederic on the wing for the second line being a UFA, Trent Frederic being that second line center, or excuse me, the third line center normally on this the whole team. You see that really pushes him out of the lineup, and I think that's a very safe bet to say that Trent Frederic does not have a place on this team, which could really point to a big trade coming soon, whether or not that is going to be now or the deadline or whenever, but we don't really see Trent Frederic on the wing too much anymore. And I think that this signing by Mark Kastelic for the 3 years, obviously they were going to re-sign him, but whether or not it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, however long it was going to be, really was going to dictate what Trent Frederic's plan was for the Boston Bruins and with the Boston Bruins. And this Kastelic signing really seems to push him out of this little system that the Bruins have going here. And you've probably seen this screenshot right here as well. As these are Mark Kastelic's last 5 games, as you see. Not really any action going on those, but when you look at the time on ice per game, the losses to Washington, New York, Columbus, those games, specifically that Columbus loss, were tough ones. Washington win, the Columbus win. You know, we had our stars highlighting there. So Mark Kastelic still, although you don't see him on the goals, assists, points, you know, whatever there, he is still a very important piece of this team. Physically, on the bench, on the ice, every aspect of his game is going to be a big part for the Boston Bruins' future. And as I mentioned, more stuff is going to be coming with the Boston Bruins, whether or not they're going to be making moves on the signings, whether they're going to be making moves going, trades on the wings, but having a middle lockdown, now you kind of got to branch out to your other players that you're looking at that are going to be free agents. And I'll pull this one up again. You see Justin Brazeau, Cole Koepke, John Beecher, whatever that means for him, whatever that means for Trent Frederic, Brian Marchand, of course, going to be re-signed, Mason Lohrei, of course, going to be re-signed, Morgan Geekie trending to be re-signed. This is really the start of what they're looking for, and I would not be surprised to see either Brazeau or Koepke probably sign next. Likely, in my mind, pointing towards more so Brazeau in this case, but the Bruins seem to be really working out their plan of kind of locking up this bottom 6. We've seen the success this way from the Tampa Bay Lightning for years in their Stanley Cup runs. They've been having that bottom 6 kind of rotating in and out, having some very, very talented players down there. May not be the best on paper, may not be the best on the score sheet, but they are certainly the best options for them at that specific time. And having the bottom 6 locked down, I would arguably say, is more important than having your top 6 locked down. Being able to have a consistent bottom 6 while you have your top 6 out there every, so often, more often than the bottom 6, and being able to get those goals there. If you can get goals and points and just generate offense from your bottom 6, that is what you need to do to win championships. And the Bruins seem to be structuring it that way while having Matt Poitras there as well, while having Coyle, Zacha, and Lindholm being able to play in the top 6 at the center position as well. So let me know what you think about this potential or potential more moves for whether it is Brazeau, whether it is someone else. But Brazeau has been a very important piece of this team, as I mentioned. And having him now being part of this group that's been locked up, as you can see, on the forward side of things, he has some the longest contract of everybody, apart from, of course, Elias Lindholm and David Pastrnak. He has signed the longest, and really giving him that pathway to becoming one of the Bruins' more important players down the middle. Making 8.35 this year, going for the next few seasons to make 8.567. He's taking a major pay cut. He could certainly be paid more than that without a doubt in my mind. Although the Bruins seem to like him and he seems to want to stay with the Bruins, he found a home here. It was good with Ottawa, but obviously we saw how that came out, being an addition to that Linus Ullmark trade along with the first-round pick, along with Jonas Korpisalo. This trade seems like a very big win for the Boston Bruins at this point. But let me know what you think about this signing. Obviously, one that we've all been really waiting for, when just kind of a matter of time until it was happening now. And finally seeing it done makes me feel like the Bruins are trying to make this move, trying to strive for a bit more success over the next few weeks and months, and seeing if we can have some moves, trying to lock down some players before we hit the trade deadline, where we may be trading Trent Frederic, maybe trading Morgan Geekie, maybe trading many, many more names that we're going to be talking about at a later date. But you're going to have to hit the sub button to find out what we got to say and what moves are going to be going down as we progress throughout the season. But of course, Mark Kastelic is the highlight of this one. Happy to see him sign. He is one of my favorite players on the Bruins already. Quickly grew to that spot, and he gives me a lot of confidence in the Bruins' way that they're kind of panning this out over the next few seasons, and how he looks as a Bruin is just so ideal for this team. So let me know what you think about the move, but of course, that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.